Well, let's go.
Okay. Hello again, everybody. We're going to go through suction cleaners. We've done the robotics, so we'll start off with our range of suction cleaners, why they're a different price, and how they work. So the most popular one we have is the pool cleaner. It's in our opinion, the better one. Basically, the way the pool cleaner works, it has a little set of fans inside here. The suction comes up through here, moves the fans, and then that moves the wheels around. The way it patterns around the bottom of the pool is it will do approximately 3 metres straight, and then it will do a small half turn. It'll do another 10 metres, it'll do a full turn, another 10 metres, and it'll do 2 turns, another 10 metres, and finally it'll finish off with 3 turns, another 10 feet, and then it'll go back to its little turn. The advantage with the pool cleaner is because it works in a random way, it will do the whole of the bottom of the pool. In most instances, it won't get caught on steps. Every so often you'll get a step where it seems to get hung up on the side of the step. You get hung up and stuck like that, and the wheels won't touch to move it off. What we do in those situations, if we do have that rare occasion, there's a different tyre we can put on called the Super Bump tyre, which has a big thick bump out here, which then gives it the purchase to hook onto the edge of the step and then pop off the step. The other option that you can do is make sure that the suction is low on this, so that as it drives up the wall of the pool, it'll pop off the wall and drop back down to the bottom. What you don't want to have this one set up with so much suction that it's driving all the way up the wall, getting to the surface and starting to suck air in. It's not really designed to do that. It's not really designed to do the wall. What you can do if you have someone who really wants to have a cleaner that does the walls is you can then move on to the Navigator. The Navigator works by basically the same sort of thing. It's got a little wheel on the inside that turns, and then that turns these little feet. This one here crabs around the bottom of the pool. So it kind of crabs around the bottom of the pool. It has a set of gears in the top here which turns this top very slowly, which then eventually makes this do circles in the bottom of the pool. And then so we'll do circles one way, and then after it's done about 10 circles, it'll start to go the other way. This means it patterns up the pool and then back down the pool. What this will do is it will go up the wall. So because it's constantly turning, it tends not to go right to the top and suck in air. It'll go up the wall and then come back down. It also has a little adjustment in here which you can adjust to make it climb up the walls more or less if you've got a problem. But just as the general settings out of the box, it should be climbing up and getting up the walls as well. So this is a good cleaner as well. One tip with this one is if you ever find that it's only going the one direction, it's not changing and turning the other way, more than likely what's happened is a little bit of grit's got in the back here. There's a small gear system inside here which controls which way this turns. That little bit of grit has stopped that gear system. And that's pretty much the only thing that goes wrong. When these ones get very old, these little feet will wear down. So these currently have the clear plastic feet for concrete pools. There's also a cork foot which is for fiberglass or painted pools, slipperier surface, and there's also a ceramic foot which is for tile pools. So they just pop off there, put the new foot on for the appropriate pool, and away you go. The other thing which gives an indication on these if the internal mechanism here is worn, if you hold down one of the feet and you can, this other side is a bit floppy. If it's flopping around like there's no tomorrow, then the internal little wishbones need to be replaced. That normally only happens after lots of years use. So you'll find it won't be this model, it'll be one of their older Navigator models, or the really old Aquanaut style. So good, still a good cleaner, will do the whole of the bottom, shouldn't get stuck on steps or anything as well, and this one will do wells. The final cheapy one that we have is the Barracuda. Not a lot different to the Barracudas that are 35 years old, just maybe looks a little bit different. Has a new style diaphragm on the inside which clicks back a little bit harder than the old style. Basically they've also created this because they can patent this, and they're the only supplier for that spare part for several years to come yet. So I guess the drawback of any cleaner which has this skirt style is that it can't turn itself on the spot. All it can do is bounce backwards. So all it can do is bounce backwards, which means the hose up here on top of the surface dictates where this whips around the pool, and it can back itself into a corner. So we'll just use these little steps here as an example. It can be flicking along the bottom, and if it gets caught into a step corner there, it can sort of get stuck there and be sitting there cleaning away for hours and hours on end, because it has to be able to get itself out of that corner. Have a customer that has that particular issue, your hose is the problem. The hose on top of the water is where it's getting backed into the corner. So if you concentrate on the hose first, you might be able to lengthen that hose or shorten that hose to get it to stop going into that corner, or you may be able to direct the eyeballs on there to push on the hose to push it away from that particular corner. These very rarely will do the whole of the bottom of the pool. That's the one drawback of them, because they're relying on the hose to flick them around the pool. Usually there will be spots where it misses, and then you'll fiddle around and change things around, change eyeballs, reduce the hose length, do all those things, and you'll find you'll get it to do the spot that has been missing, and then all of a sudden it'll start missing a fresh spot on the other side of the pool. That's okay if the customer understands what the limit of these units are. In general, that's their limit. Not guaranteed to do the whole of the bottom. Not guaranteed not to get stuck on steps. Whereas the other two units that we sell, as I said, shouldn't be getting stuck on steps, and customers shouldn't be dealing with them if they are getting stuck on steps. We can get the manufacturer involved on getting that particular problem sorted out. And obviously that's why there's a price difference between the two. From our service point of view, we love putting in the pool cleaner into pools because the pool cleaner does a fantastic job of keeping the pool clean. Mind you, the Navigator will do the same sort of job as well. And then we can have that person getting a silver service rather than a platinum service. So they're happy, they're saving money on the service cost. And we're happy because the pool stays cleaner in between our services. We're not going out there giving the pool a clean one day and then a week later the pool's just as filthy. The pool's staying nice and clean. So that's your advantage between the two top of the range, is they will keep the pool clean, they won't get stuck on steps. Your disadvantage with the cheaper one is not guaranteed to do the whole of the bottom and not guaranteed not to get stuck. And that's pretty much a rundown on the suction cleaners that we have at the moment.